Hi guys, it's Carlos the Ultimate Fitness Training once again, and thank you so much for watching the video. And today we are here once again in Sutton Park. What a beautiful day. As you guys know, I love doing power walks here in Sutton Park, and it's a beautiful sunshine today. So I've had a lot of requests, guys, to do videos about positivity, coaching, diets, training, all sorts of videos. But I'll tell you one request that I have had lately, which is more than ever been almost like a common denominator that I've had, which is actually positivity. I've had you know, like requests: how do you avoid negative people, how do you overcome negative situations, how do you deal with negative people, what can you do to overcome bad times. So what I'm going to do is I've done several videos about loads of all of those topics, but what I'm going to do today, I'm going to do a video today on how to basically become your greatest version while dealing with these sort of negative people in negative situations. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 topics, and I'll give you a couple examples of situations that that basically probably resonate with you guys. I'll give you example number 1 is be yourself, because what happens nowadays is, or when I say nowadays, basically in situations, is people tend to pretend to be someone else. Okay, now when you pretend to be someone else, you're not yourself, so automatically you are always in sort of, if you like, in sort of judgment of yourself, thinking, right, okay, I'm not really secure doing this kind of thing. I give you an example, like if you're not a very talkative person and you're surrounded by people that are very sort of extrovert and very talkative, and you pretend to be very talkative, shit sometimes can hit the fan. So what happens is a lot of times you pretend to be someone that you're actually not. So don't worry about whether people judge you by being a quiet person or a loud person or vice versa. You just be yourself, because it doesn't actually matter, and I've done a video about this before, what actually people think of you. Just basically be you and be happy with you. Now, people will judge you anyway, and people will have opinions about you, but it doesn't actually matter, because their opinions are nothing to do with you. So just be you. As I always say, I'm doing these videos. If there's 1,000 people walking past, or 10 people walking past, or 1,000,000 people watching this, or 1 person watching this, they'll have their own opinions about this video. But what I'm gonna ask you guys out there that are watching these videos, those people that have got an opinion about me as an example, right, what are they doing to become their greatest version? Now, while they have an opinion about me and criticizing me, they're not becoming their greatest version. So why would I care about someone that's not actually becoming their greatest version? So I wouldn't care. So I don't care. Okay, I'll respect someone's opinion. It might be negative or positive, but what I do, it's called alchemy. So if you guys read about alchemy, is basically how to basically turn a negative situation into a positive situation. Years ago, thousands and thousands of years ago, alchemy used to be turning nothing into gold. That's what they used to say. But in the actual psychology path, alchemy now is turning a negative into a positive. Okay, so do not allow external conditions and situations to become your internal condition, because a lot of the times you allow other people out there to condition you. Now, number 2 is surround yourself with people that remind you of who you are. What do I mean by that? I mean, surround yourself with loved ones if they remind you of who you are. Surround yourself with friends if they remind you of who you are. Surround yourself with people, whether they're friends or acquaintances, that remind you of who you are, that really sort of have the same interests, people that lift you, people that have got great vibes, people that are going to basically push you to become your greatest version, people that actually admire you. Now, I'll give you an example. We all think that we have to do big things in order to be special. We don't. Absolutely don't. Now, I'll give you a little example of this, right? We are in a room, okay, and there's a doctor, okay, there's a solicitor as an example, okay, there's someone like me, say a trainer, and there's a paramedic, okay, as an example, okay. Now, if someone passes out, so let's say there's those 4 people, and there's more people obviously, okay? Let's say if someone passes out, the paramedic would be the most important person in that room. It wouldn't be me, he wouldn't be probably even the doctor, he wouldn't be the solicitor, okay? It would be the paramedic, right? Would you agree with that? Okay, because those guys are dealing with people passing out and all sorts of conditions day in, day out, okay? Probably a doctor wouldn't even probably know much about what to do with someone that passed out because they study drugs. So there'll be more chance of them probably sitting down with a pen and paper, not disrespect to any doctors, but they'll probably be sitting down and thinking, what drug can I prescribe this guy? Welcome to the Matrix. But anyway, cut a long story short. So though that paramedic would become congruent to the situation, so they're very important in that particular situation. Now, if someone came in and wanted to lose weight, who would become important all of a sudden? Not the doctor, not the paramedic, not the solicitor, it would be me, right? Now, all of a sudden change the level of importance. And this is why I say to people, when we look at becoming our greatest version and giving value to ourselves, is we're all amazingly important. Now, another example is we are in a room and someone has some sort of legal problems. Who would be the most important person there? Of course, the solicitor, right? So automatically you become congruent to any of us, okay? But can you see, I'm just giving you little scenarios, is we're all amazingly important in our lives to whatever we do, okay? But a lot of the times we think that we need to do extraordinary things in order to become superstars. You don't need to become a superstar. We're already a star. Everyone's got the ability. I'm no better than you. You're no better than me. We're just at the same level. Regardless of how successful you are or how unsuccessful you are, we're all the same. And this is I think it's a problem that it's kind of like, don't take me wrong, a lot of people haven't probably got the the guts to actually talk about this, and this is something that I've come across while studying psychology and coaching, and obviously the more and more I read about spiritualism, is something that really resonates with me. Is there's this sort of aura about this sort of lifestyle that we live, that we have to be absolutely perfect. Look, no matter how beautiful or how sort of, if you like, successful or unsuccessful you are, we're all amazingly special, okay? Now you may say to yourself, Carlos, what the fuck are you talking about? Now, what I mean by that is, we all have the if you like, the ignition and the engine to become superstars if you really want to. But that doesn't make you better. It just makes you someone well known for whatever you do. But that shouldn't give you the value to become more special than anybody else. You're just probably a more well-known person. Someone out there that is famous is not better than you. You might think, oh yes it is, because he's got 1 million followers, or he's got, I don't know, £2 billion in his bank account. It doesn't actually matter whether he's got that £2 billion and you've got £10 in your bank accounts. What actually matters is, you may say, oh, it does matter. It doesn't. Do you know why it doesn't matter? It's because he eats and sleeps and craps like you do, okay? Okay, he might be able to arrive at his home in better style, in a better car, bigger house, but how many houses can you have? You know, how many rooms can you sleep in at once? So what it is, a lot of the times we kind of like get overwhelmed with this sort of rush to become successful, and all of a sudden we actually forget that we've got an amazing life, and the universe has put us here just to become happy with what we're doing. So if you're happy with what you're doing, become happy with what you're doing. You don't need to copy anybody else. Let them, they are on their own journey. You are on your own journey. I always say this to my clients and the people I coach. You are living your own journey. You are on your own lane. Let the guy go past you like 100 miles an hour. He might crush you within 2 days. 2 days. And you might carry on for another 50, 60, 70 years, and he just crashed. He was going too fast. Do you know? This is one thing I've learned upon my journey, is sometimes fast is dangerous. So sometimes slow is good. And I tell you one thing, if you speak to really top psychologists, they always say this: slow is fast, fast is slow. So think to yourself sometimes, just slow the hell down, because it makes you actually appreciate things and also appreciate life more. Now, number 3 is only believe in what you are doing yourself. Now, a lot of the times we actually get dictated by people's opinion about what we do as people in order for us to kind of go, right, okay, so I'm going to do that. I'll give you an example. How many of you guys out there are doing things today that you really had no interest whatsoever, but you were doing it, say, I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you had no interest, but you are doing it today because someone said, oh, you got to do this, right? So you felt pressured by your parents, you felt pressured by maybe loved ones, maybe you felt pressured by your sister or brother that said, oh, listen, you got to go to university and you got to study this. And now you're thinking, what the hell was I doing that for? Because really, I didn't like that, but you're doing it. And how much are you actually now living your life purpose, your life purpose for? And now you're not doing nothing to do with you actually love to do. So you actually now probably got 1 or 2 degrees and you're actually stuck in a job that you really hate and you'd love to do something else. Okay, how many of you guys out there? Now don't take me wrong, I'm not saying that I've got, look at me, I've got a perfect life and I studied and that. No, I live my life purpose. I get up every day excited to go to work because I love helping people. And some people might say to me sometimes, and I have loads of people sometimes approaching me saying, Carlos, oh, with your ability to do this, your ability to do that, why don't you do this, don't you do that? And I said, listen guys, I love what I do. I love what I do. So why do I need to change? I'm living my life purpose. I love what I do, so why do I need to change? Now, their vision, based on my ability, might be completely different, but they live in their own life purpose. So look after your own ability to do things. Don't listen to what others. Now when I say don't listen, okay, be respectful, yes, listen, but do not allow their own intentions and their own stupid opinions to dictate your internal situation, because that's not the reality. Okay, so that is a very important one. Now number 4 is one very important situation is drop the ego, control the ego. Now I give you an example. I'm not going to name any names because this might be a scenario that people I know, people might think, oh, actually that was actually very true and happened in my office, right? I was in the office the other day, I had to go and collect some paperwork. I'm not going to name what I was there for, but I collect the paperwork. While arriving at the office, right, in a car park, I couldn't park. Okay, couldn't park. There's lots of different sort of people trying to park. I couldn't park, so I thought, bloody hell, where am I going to park my car? So I parked on the side road. So at the same time, there's a girl arriving, okay, and there's another guy arriving, and the girl came in with a car, parked in, and completely disregarded this guy that was already waiting to park in our space. Okay, now she got out of the car, right, and happened to come in for an interview. Now the reason I'm telling you this right now, because then I ended up finding this out. Okay, so cut a long story short, she was there for an interview for that job, for the job that this guy is holding, right? The guy that was coming in found it very rude. She came in, completely ignored the guy outside. Now she was sitting there, she came in at the same time, obviously she arrived, she came into the reception area and I asked, is my paperwork there? Okay, he's actually a friend of mine. And the lady said, yeah, the papers here, Carlos, you just need to sign a couple of things. Fantastic, great. And this girl came in for an interview. By that time, I didn't know she came in for an interview, obviously. She was so stuck up, you wouldn't believe. She thought, basically, she owned the situation, owned the bloody place. And she came for an interview. Now, let me tell you something, right? The guy that came in said, good morning, okay? She completely ignored this guy, okay? Now, he's a normal guy dressed normally. No big deal. Okay? Now, remember what I just said to you guys about we all the same, right? There's no big, there's no low or small if you like. No one's bigger or better than anybody. We're all the same, right? Now, do you know what I'm going to tell you now? Okay, that girl came in for an interview. There was 5 people for an interview, right? Guess who that guy was? The guy that she ignored outside, and the guy that she ignored when he came in. Guess who that guy was? Yeah, exactly. He was the boss. He was the guy that was going to interview this girl. He's a friend of mine, and he actually told me this story. Now, let me tell you something. What was going through that girl's head, okay, outside? Okay, big ego, right? What was going through that girl's head inside the offices? Big ego, right? Now, when he came and shook her hand and says, hi, my name is such and such, you know, I mean, the manager director of such and such, you came in for an interview, she automatically changed it into an amazing person. Oh, hello, how are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, okay. Can you see what I mean? Now, people change according to the situations. Now, and that is a lot of the times driven by the ego. Now, some of you guys might state, yeah, but yeah, we all do that. Okay, no, that's a big fucking mistake. Okay, because if you can't control your own emotions based on your ego, let me tell you, and let me explain this very brutally to you, you're gonna get fucked up. Now, you might say, yeah, what do you mean by that? I tell you what I mean by that is, you are an infinite being like I am, okay? You are a human being, okay? Human being. As I said, you're no fucking better than anybody else. So who gives the right to turn around and think you are this big superstar? Let me tell you, this is my opinion, and this is something I've experienced, right? And this is something I've not just studied, right? I've met a lot of successful people. Not because I'm better than you. I just happen to meet them through my work and through some friends. Okay, they were the most nicest people I've ever met. Okay, now why? That can you see that common denominator? Now, people that are not successful are the people that have got this fucking big head and are not successful. But they think they're the ones, but they're not. Look, if you are successful, you don't need to tell anybody. You don't need to act successful. You're successful because you own it, okay? The universe will give you the respect. You don't need to come in with a big head and load of attitude to show someone, listen, I'm successful. You don't need to do it because you talk it, you walk it, and it's there, okay? So drop that ego. That will make your greatest version. Now, if you guys don't want to listen to this and think, oh, that's a lot of crap, study the ego. There's loads of books on it. Study it. Once you start understanding how vibrations work, guys, you will become your greatest versions. Because if your resistance makes you stronger, the more you resist your ego, the more people you push away from you. Okay, so become humble. No matter how successful you are, you're just a normal person. I'm telling you, you'll attract the greatest things to your life. So now, the fifth one and the last one is become your greatest versions by looking after your body, your mind, and your soul. Some of you guys may laugh at this. Body, mind, and soul. What do you mean by that? What does body, mind, and soul mean? Look, we all talk about this crazy thing about getting stronger, fitter. Okay, now I'm a personal trainer, strength and conditioning coach. I do psychology work, and I'm also a football coach, right? Okay, I come across all sorts of different sort of fitness levels and sort of coaching levels and everything, right? Now, if you want to become your greatest version, you need to be fit. Now, being fit, that don't mean you need to run 2 marathons a day or lift 4 or 5 plates on a bench press. It means you can just do cardiovascular, become the fitter you can become stronger that you can become for yourself. You don't need to compete with anybody, okay? Now, body, mind, what are you doing to your mind in terms of, if you're surrounding yourself in negative situations, negative environments, negative people, you're not looking after your brain. Okay, now you might think to yourself, oh, it's only that. I'm telling you, that is like junk food. Being surrounded by negative environments, negative people, it's worse than cocaine. It's worse than, when I say cocaine, I mean drugs. It's worse than junk food because it's actually chemicals for your brain. I don't know if you guys know this. I mean, mental health. I thought someone just called me. Mental health is a big thing in the world, and people are suffering out there massively because they are surrounded by terrible people in terrible environments. So if you can, obviously I know it's hard sometimes with people like surrounded by those kind of people. Sometimes they might even be your loved ones, they might even be people that you kind of work with, and sometimes it's hard. But all I can say to you guys is this, don't take me wrong, this has happened to me. It's happened to me, and I'm not just talking because I think it's happened to me. I've been in terrible environments, and one thing I have learned is I had to get the hell out of there, do you know? And these people, sometimes I tell you, they become toxic, and those are the kind of people sometimes that, as we spoke about before, they're haters, and they will fuck you up eventually because they will get into your head so much where it becomes an illness. So do not allow these guys to control you. So your body, the mind, okay, and then you got the soul. Now we all have a soul. We're all spiritual beings, whether you like it or not, whether you believe in spirituality or not, you're a spirit. So make sure you do the forms of meditation if you can. Some of you guys say to me, I ask a lot of people, you meditate? Oh, I haven't got no time. Look, that's the thing. If you haven't got no time, you need to meditate, because meditation is going to make you become a human being, not a human doing. Remember, we say to ourselves, we are human beings, okay? So human beings means you are a being. Hi guys, you right? See, I'm doing a video and I said hello to someone. Okay, I'm not important to anybody else. So I just said hello to the guys, don't even know the guys. Said hello to the guys, okay? Why? Because they are human beings, okay? So I've got the right to say to someone, in respect to someone, that is a human being. Now, let me tell you something about being a being. We too many times focus on doings, okay? I've got to do this, I've got to die, I've got to die, I've got to die, I've got to drop the kid, I've got to drop the kid, I've got to pick up the kid, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to cook the dinner, I've got to do this. And it's task. And it comes to a point you're thinking, have you ever noticed your breath today? Have you ever noticed your breathing? Have you noticed you blinking? Have you noticed your heartbeat? Have you noticed the sole of your feet? Have you noticed the palm of your hand? Have you noticed how many fingers you've got? Have you counted your breaths for 60 seconds? You haven't, because you rush like an absolutely animal, monkey on steroids, as I say. It's crazy. And why are you doing what? We are human beings. We are in a rush to get nowhere soon, or nowhere fast, if you like. Because we're not gonna. Why are you rushing? Where are we going? It's 24/7, okay? 24 hours, 7 days a week, right? You can't go any faster than me. I can't go any faster than you. I can't rush the time. The time doesn't rush. The time is, I know it's man-made, but you can't rush it. So you just gotta accept the time. And B means meditation. Now, meditation doesn't mean you gotta sit down in the middle of the park in lotus position and go, you know? You don't have to do that. Meditation, I'll give you an example, right? What I'm doing right now is meditation, because it's something that I feel. I'm in the park, say, as you guys can see, okay, Sun Park, beautiful place, okay, fresh air, okay, beautiful people around, I'm not under pressure, okay, I'm doing a video for you guys, I'm meditating, really, I'm doing something I love. Now, after that I finished, right, I'm gonna just sit down and relax, okay, just chill, okay, do a bit of meditation, concentrate on my breath for a bit, okay, and basically what I tend to do, which is works right well, I breathe in for 4, breathe out for 4. That probably wasn't 4 seconds, but you guys know what I mean. So I breathe in for 4, count 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4. That really works out, and I'll do that for about 10 minutes and really concentrates, brings my heart rate back to normal, and it kind of calms me down, and it literally helps me being a being for a bit. I do that every morning, every evening, okay, and then when I've got the facility to come in and spend some time in Southern Park, I'll do this here as well. So those are the 5 things that I basically mentioned today, guys. They are fantastic to create you to become a stronger, healthier, happier version of yourself, and I hope that's helped you guys. So with all that said, guys, you know where to find me on Instagram, Carlos Trainer 10, on YouTube, Carlos Trainer, and on my website, which is ultimatefitnesstraining.co.uk. So with all that said, guys, thanks for watching the video. Keep sending me that requests. I've had some crazy requests, but as you guys can see, I keep doing these videos every single day in order to help you become my greatest versions, while helping me to become my greatest version. So with all that said, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, stay fit. Have a beautiful day. Take care.